right, so not the best day for Palantir stock today, guys. We closed down over 4% at $130 a share, and earlier we got down to $128 a share. So we have to go over the charts, do an update, break down my thoughts, what I'm doing. But first, hit that like button, make sure to subscribe, and join my free email stock newsletter. Check out my Patreon for my portfolio updates. All those links are right down below. And now, guys, of course, take a sip of your water. No coffee in this case, but take a sip of your water. Cheers, and let's dive into it. So, yeah, not the best day for Palantir. Like I said, guys, over 4% in the red today, and I guess a good thing is the fact that we saw a majority of that red earlier in the day. Really, in the first hour to 2 hours of trading, we went down from 135, 136, all the way to 128.50. So we dropped over 5%, and then we consolidated for the rest of the day around 129, 130, and we saw a little itty bitty pop heading into close. Nothing too crazy. Excuse me, guys. My throat's been all wonky today. I don't know what's going on, but we saw a nice little run into close from around 129 to about 130, 70-ish, which is good. But overall, I mean, I would consider this a bad day for the bulls. Even though we consolidated for a good part of the day, the fact that we had a 4% red day is not ideal. And essentially, man, all of not even the gains we saw yesterday, right? We didn't really see many gains, but essentially, we're now back to where we were on Friday. I think Friday we hit $130. Then we saw a bit of a rally yesterday to 138. Now we're pretty much back to 130, right? And it seems like on this 5-day, 5-minute, PLTR is continuing this little itty-bitty short-term downtrend, whatever you want to call it, as we did take the lows out from Friday today. We are under the moving averages, and we have a death cross on this 5-day, 5-minute chart. You're noticing it, right? And on the 30-minute chart, same thing. Death cross under both moving averages, and we're officially down about $18 from all-time highs, or just over 12%. So Palantir is in correction territory right now. Not anywhere near a bear market, but again, near correction territory. And on the 1-hour time frame, death cross under both moving averages, which, I mean, the more you pull the layers back, the more you're going to realize, all right, this is just simply a healthy pullback. The bulls are still in charge, but you don't really notice that until you start pulling up the 20-day chart, the 4-hour chart as well, which if I pull that up, you guys can see, boom, we're still looking great, still in an uptrend. We are under, though, the 50 SMA and slightly under the 180 SMA now on this 4-hour chart. But again, it's not the end of the world. I mean, if you're noticing on this time frame, we have dipped under these moving averages momentarily, and it seems like each time we've done that on the 4-hour chart on several occasions, buyers have come in and we've recovered. You know, most recently, if we zoom in here, back in the beginning of June, which, by the way, today's July 1st. Happy July. Hope you all had a great June and have an even better July. Back in the beginning of June, we dipped under these moving averages momentarily to about 117. And guess what? That dip was bought, and we ran like no other, all the way to 148. And another time it happened recently was back here. Back in April, after Liberation Day, and even before that, quite frankly, we were under these moving averages for about a month or two, and, well, that didn't last. That didn't last long. We saw a meteoric run from $60 to 150. You know, we more than doubled in the span of 2.5 months, which is almost unheard of. Obviously, it happens a lot, but with, you know, companies the size of Palantir to double in 2 to 3 months, that's pretty insane. So obviously, guys, bulls are still in charge in the grand scheme of things. When in doubt, zoom out. And at this point, holding above 130 by a thread, this is critical for the bulls. You know, if we fall through 130, next gap to fill on the downside might be to about 117.18, which is kind of where the stock bottomed last month. You guys can see early in June, right? Even in the end of May, we held about 118, 19, 20. So that could be where it bottoms out. Or, that could be the gap that fills if we fall through 130, whether it's tomorrow, later this week, next week, right? So that's a quick rundown here on Palantir. And full disclosure, guys, I'm long. I hold the stock. I'm sure a lot of you know that. My average cost is $20 a share, 21 bucks in that ballpark. And I'm not buying more shares. I'll be the first to tell you. I'm bullish. I believe in the company, but I'm not buying shares at these levels. Heck, I didn't even buy shares when it dipped to 65 bucks. You guys might be like, Stas, you didn't buy that dip? Yeah, I didn't buy that dip, man. I've literally just been holding on to my shares that I've had for, I don't even know how long at this point. And I'm playing the options market as well. When I'm trading Palantir, I'm mostly just trading options, and obviously when I'm adding to the position, I'm buying shares. But again, I haven't done that in a while at this point. I can't even remember the last time I've bought Palantir stock. Not because I don't believe in it, but obviously I believe in it. It's simply because I bought a bunch at 20 bucks. I went heavy when it was at that level, and I'm up so much now. So it's like I really have to nitpick where I want to average up. And it's just not now. It's just not here where we are. Not saying it's a bad stock or anything, but I just much rather hold than buy and even sell at this point. I'm not selling either, obviously. I'm just holding on to the shares that I have. So what do you guys think about that? Let me know in the comments. And by the way, have you subscribed yet? I think 50% of you watch the content here on YouTube, and you're not subscribed. And we're on the road to 100K subs, guys. So I'm going to need you to subscribe. Hit that button. I appreciate you all as always. Now let's quickly run through some other stocks, maybe some stocks that went down. We covered some earlier that went up. Let me go over some stocks that weren't so hot today. So some AI names, NVIDIA in particular, went down 3%, much needed pullback, pretty much did exactly what I said yesterday. We covered NVIDIA in an update yesterday. I covered how I thought it was going to pull back and consolidate around 150 to 152, which was the all-time high from months ago. You guys see the trend line here, and that's where we are now, right above the 50 SMA. I think this is where we're going to consolidate on NVIDIA, hold as support, and that's where the next move is going to be made, potentially. 150, 152, where we are now. And let's say we fall through 150. All right, maybe we fill the gap down to 142, 145. That could be another spot where buyers start to come in. So NVIDIA, not the best day today. AMD also saw a pretty sizable pullback, 4%, which this is still very much breaking out in an uptrend. We just needed to pull back. It was getting a bit too hot. Now we're right around the 180 SMA on this 4-hour chart. Actually, still well above it, quite frankly. But overall, man, this still looks great on the chart. Let's see if buyers start to come in on AMD. And Netflix today, we'll wrap it up with Netflix, sold off a good chunk. Just around 3.5% in the red for Netflix today, trading down by the 50 and the 180 moving averages. Well, now I guess it's more towards the 50 SMA. This is a spot where we have to watch and see if Netflix holds. If it doesn't, we might flush through, go down to 1230, 1250, where that could be where buyers ultimately come in. So what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button, subscribe. Make sure to join that email stock newsletter. It's free, and I send out my top stocks weekly. And check out my Patreon for my real-time portfolio updates. All those links are down below. And with that being said, guys, cheers. I'll catch you in the next video.